All right, y'all. The Polygamist, a new series on Netflix, a South African soap opera, 22 30-minute episodes. Took me 3 sittings to watch. This series had my insides on fire the whole time. This series is the ball, and I'm ready for season 2. Takes place in Johannesburg. It's a powerful couple, but the husband is cheating. He is rich. Can't say he's attractive, but I don't know. I don't know to whose standards, but um the series starts at Jonasi's funeral, the husband. He's married to Joyce. She's partner in their huge company. I don't know if it's a banking business or what it is, but they're equal partner. But Janasi runs the company. She's, at home. She's a social media influencer. She has 2 kids, but they flash back to when she has the third. So the third one is in there, but you don't see the third one that much, but still there. There's a big age gap between the last one and the first 2 kids. So this story has so many themes. Every episode takes another twist, turn. Every episode there's a shocking something in the in it. I'm going to use my little notes here because it's so much. It's not just another cheating husband drama. It's going to take you through a wild ride of deception, power, revenge, family loyalty, and the emotional fallout of one man's double, triple, quadruple life. Not a double life, a quadruple life. Every episode raises the stakes, making it nearly impossible to stop watching. Y'all, it is impossible to stop watching. Only reason I had to do it in 3 sessions is because I have a 3-year-old. If I didn't have a 3-year-old, I would have watched this all the way through from episode 1 to episode 22 because the episodes go quick. So I don't want to give all the spoilers away in case y'all haven't watched. If you want to watch, you might, want to turn it off so you don't get the spoilers. Hopefully you've watched for the first at least 3 minutes. But I'm going to give a little bit more background information, then there may be some spoilers coming up. So anyway, you got the main characters. You got Janasi, the main guy, Joyce, which is the main wife, Matipa, which is the first side chick. You got Essie, you got Lindani. These are the main people without giving away too much. The story starts at Jonasi's funeral. Thank God he's dead. Okay. Joyce walks down the aisle in all white. Everybody else is in black, which represents a new life, a fresh start for her. This lady has been through so much. Janasi has put this lady through so much, and she wanted to hold on to him for several reasons. He wasn't worth anything besides a public image. This deals with the current issues we have with social media, where everybody puts up a front on social media, but it's not their real life. She wants to hang on to this man, even though she knows he's cheating, so that she can keep her campaign, her social media campaign, because without him, she won't have it. Even though she's rich, with just being partner of the in the company, she wants to hold on to her independence and stay and keep staying influenced or whatever. So he meets Matipa through his brother, supposedly his brother's girlfriend. But Matipa is trying to climb up the ladder of success in the company, and so she makes a pass at Janasi, and that's all she wrote. So now Janasi has a side chick. Things start to happen with this side chick. And at first it's all fun and games, when you're just taking a load off the first wife or whatever. You getting your fun, your kinks, you getting your money, you getting raises, you getting promotions in the company. But when the animal comes out of this man, it's not fun and games anymore. Um, let's look at some of the themes of, because I want to encourage, conversation in the comments. So let's look at some of the themes of um, the story, because it's not just about polygamy. Polygamy is not the biggest part, or it's not from the very beginning that you're going to see a polygamous relationship. That's kind of why I didn't want to watch it at first, because I'm not interested in that. Some people are interested in seeing a polygamous lifestyle. I'm not. I don't care. But once I found out how good it was, and people were just like, "Hey, you gotta watch, you gotta watch, you gotta watch it." I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll give it a chance." And once I realized it wasn't just about polygamy, I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'm in. I'm in. I'm in." I love a story that starts at the end and goes back. So it starts at the funeral, it goes back 5 years to show us how we got to Jonasi's fall. Okay, so we got the we got the theme of image versus reality. Everyone is trying to protect their public image. Joyce does not want to be embarrassed, so she tries to hold on to that man. So then we look at how much social media is a performance. Then we got power and control. Janasi was rich. He controlled a lot of his women with his money, status, and influence. He used it to manipulate them, and he manipulated them. I mean, when you say gaslighting, when you just anybody's been in this situation where you've been gaslit or you've been led to believe that you're tripping and not the person that's actually doing the wrong, this is going to make your insides burn. My insides were on fire the whole series. Janasi was very manipulative. He also had an obvious sexual problem. I think he had a drinking problem. He came from nothing, so he just didn't know how to act with money and power. The imagery of the show is so good. The homes are nice. The quality of the show is nice, so it pulls you in. It attracts you to keep watching. Another theme is the women finding their voice. Sometimes you get in a situation where you may have kids with someone, so it makes it harder to get out. But the man keeps tick, 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 chip, 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 chipping away, and you have that breaking point. So I did read a synopsis while I was watching and found out that there was domestic violence in the show, even though I hadn't seen it yet. All the things that Janasi was doing, I was like, okay, well, he's not being physically abusive, but he gets there. He goes there, y'all. So it takes that for the women to finally say, I'm out of here. I can't do this anymore, And it breaks my heart. That part really got me, was the physical abuse. And it wasn't, a big chunk of it. It was enough, but not too much. So at first, the women found themselves in competition, and then when they realized that nothing was going to be enough for this man, they kind of, leaned on each other just a little bit, to try to get through it. Then you have the generational trauma, how the kids were affected. Menzie, the eldest son, he was such a sweet, innocent child, but as time went on and he realized what his daddy was doing, his hate grew and he hardened. He started having panic attacks. It got pretty bad for Menzie. Thank goodness he had, a good friend. I don't remember. Oh, Freedom. Freedom was a cousin um, that kind of coached him through a lot of things. And Freedom had his own issues. Freedom had his own parental stuff. That was caused by Janasi. So y'all gotta watch. I don't want to tell the whole story. This would be a very, very lengthy video if I did that. But both the oldest son and daughter were tremendously affected by Janasi's behavior and by Joyce, the mom's behavior, because they saw the way she allowed the dad to treat her. And that happens in real life, y'all. What your kids see, even though they may not go through the same thing, if they're seeing you go through it, they're going to carry that with them in their relationships with not just their significant other, but everybody. Um, one last thing before I go. Wealth doesn't buy happiness. Janasi has money, luxury homes, expensive cars, status, but he's really not happy, y'all. Nothing is ever enough for him. His personal life is completely unraveling. He was able to control things and maintain his cheating and maintain both households, but as things start to unravel and unveil, he just spiraled. He lost it, and eventually ended up losing everything. Oh Lord. So the polygamous aspect, the traditional part, they said it was part of their tradition. However, everyone does not accept that part of that tradition. So that was one thing I learned, is that even though it may be something that some people practice, everyone in that culture does not practice it, does not accept it, and there's so many layers to polygamy that we don't know and probably will never know. So let me just put some questions out there. Y'all can answer them in the comments. Who was the biggest villain besides Janasi? Which wife deserved better? Matipa was the side chick, but they ended up getting married. And that's not the only two wives that he had, y'all. Just gonna put that out there. Did anyone truly win in the end? I'm ready for season 2, y'all, because at the end, it's definitely room for season 2, even though Janasi's dead. Bring him back to life so we can have a season 2. Whatever. He deserves to die, but bring him back to life. Was Janasi evil or simply selfish? There's a fine line there. I think he kind of was over the selfish characteristics, the selfish trait. I think it was more evil. I think it was more evil than selfish. But drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, hype this video. And if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it and then drop down in the comments. Talk to y'all later. Bye.